Hey everybody, Anthony here, and the footage you are about to watch is my opening round match from the Omega Invitational. I've mentioned this a couple of times already, but I am the 4 seed at this event, and I decided to run Devastator, and in my first round match, I am playing against Frank4321 and his 6-wide Superion list. I was honestly panicking a little bit when I first saw this because of the fact that certain blue decks give Devastator a bit of trouble, and I wasn't sure what the matchup was going to be like here. So it's going to be interesting going into this. We got the roll off here. I roll 7, Frank rolls an 8, and I believe he chooses to go first. Also, you'll notice I don't have every character listed for both of our teams. That is because I was on a bit of a time crunch with recording this, so I just put the combiners on there and called it a day. So yeah, Frank is going first here. He is doing the damage to 4 of his aerial bots from In the Name of Slingshot, which of course allows him to get a free copy of Power Glide, but he has to take a damage on 4 characters, which is okay, actually. It allows for some turn 1 Energon Axe plays, but, or like some bombing run shenanigans, but it's an interesting downside. It's not too bad, not too good. Yeah. Anyways, at this point, I should mention I forgot to grab the strat when I was building this deck, so I just grab it and set it in the corner there. And something you are going to notice very quickly about this match, I just did it there. My hands are going to be on screen in some weird positions. There is a rule for this event that you have to keep your hand on screen at all times unless you notify the judge as to what you're doing off screen. So if you see my hand sitting around in a weird position, that is why. And you'll notice here I accidentally draw 4 cards when I was supposed to draw 3. I immediately fixed that since I did not look at the cards yet. And we are off to the races. And I set my hand down, do that, and as you can see I caught myself there keeping my hands on screen. So starting off Frank's turn, we see a flip of Silver Bolts, and I believe a damage goes on to Hook here. Yep, goes on to Hook. And then sending Skydive in, I believe Hook was the target here as well. I could be wrong. I don't remember the attack with Skydive, but it is a attack of 3 Pierce 1, but Hook has 0 defense, so as a result, I go ahead and take 3 damage. Yep, okay, so it is 3 attack for Skydive, so I'm up to 4 damage on Hook. That does impact how I play this match a little bit. And you'll notice I have my scrap pile set at a horizontal position. That was just as a clear indicator as to what was the scrap pile, what was the deck. Flip Scrapper for turn, drawing a card, and then my camera is shaking there a little bit. I will improve my setup at some point, I promise. But flipping Scrapper, only get 1 action or 1 upgrade here because standard turn 1 rules. If you've played this game before, you know how this goes. And I do not remember what the upgrade or action was here. It was a Fusion Bore on Scrapper. That makes sense because Skydive does have Tough in that mode. And then we send Scrapper into Skydive here. I don't remember a lot of what happened in this match, despite the fact that I just played it about 4 hours ago. So the attack going in is, as my camera continues to shake, I promise I will fix this eventually, 6 Pierce 4. I believe the Pierce 4 is taken there. Yep, Pierce 4 is taken. So we go ahead and move to green icons. I have an Enigma sitting there. I will say, actually no, I am not going to say anything because my potential future opponents for the OI may not be, or may be watching this, and I am not going to start spoiling secrets. So Frank draws for turn. And what will the play be? You know what, let's, actually no, I am not going to fast forward on the Omega Invitational videos here, just because that seems a little off. Flipping Alpha Bravo for turn. Noble's Blaster onto Power Glide. And a secret action, potentially? Yep, there's the secret action. And then Power Glide is going in here, has to go into Scrapper. There is Pierce 2 coming from that Normal's Blaster, and Enigma is flipped up, and the attack is for, I believe, 4 Pierce 2 going into 1. I believe I take 3 here. I do, in fact... Nope, wait. Yep, that's 3. I could not see the die number for a bit. In fact, I am going to actually quickly increase the size of the screen in OBS here quick as my phone decides to go off as I draw for turn as well. And then... Nope, I did not draw for turn yet because there was a Power Glide swap available with that Energon Axe, so I didn't see it, thankfully, so I just immediately put it back on top of the deck and just kind of hold on to it there. And my texts are going off. Hold on a second. Okay, I've resolved that issue, dropping an Enigma on Frank's side in order to pick up that Energon Axe via Power Glide, and now I officially draw for turn. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, so I'm going into Skydive here. I'm going to have to deal with that Tough 2. I do not want to be attacking Power Glide here just because of the fact that I do not need Frank having a free weapon right about now. I want to try to just punt as many pieces of Superion as possible for maximum damage when he combines, despite the fact that Power Glide will serve as a free blocker in that situation. We flip Hook to bot mode here, play a Corrupt Construction on him. This is the change I mentioned earlier about how I played Devastator this game. Because Hook was damaged first, so I decided to send him first in order to preserve the health pool a little bit. I also drop a grenade launcher down, and as you can see, my playmat is a little cramped, just because I had to keep my sideboard on screen because of OI protocols, so yeah, it's just stuff I had to deal with, nothing too serious. And then Hook goes into Skydive, and Electrostatic Shielding was revealed, and I flipped 4 white icons, essentially. Hello, Mirage. But the attack is for 6 Pierce 1, so at least I have that innate Pierce from Hook. And again, sorry about the camera sway. I will fix that at some point. But in the meantime, the block is for... Wait, was that Pierce 3? Or... No, wait, it was 8. Okay, so 8 into... He had 4 damage, so that was 8 into 4, so, no, 8 into 5, so takes 3. Okay, so those were the numbers there. Takes 3 damage. I just had to remember how math worked there for a moment, because I suck at it. If you have ever watched a video on this channel, you would know that. Or not even just this channel, over on the main channel as well. So we move back over to Frank's turn here. He's going to flip Air Raid to bot mode. And what is going to be the play here? We have an Energon Axe coming down onto the Silverbolt. Onto the Silverbolt. What am I saying? Good lord, my brain is apparently fried from that match. And you'll notice me pointing at my characters a lot throughout this. It was just Frank asking about health totals and defense things. Not a big deal. And now we wait and see Silverbolt swinging, I'm assuming, if there's an action play. Oh, there was a secret action that was dropped. I was just checking Discord a moment ago, so... yeah. And more health checks. And then the attack finally goes through. I believe the target was Hook here, so the defense will be 0. And that's a 6 Pierce 2 swing, if I'm not mistaken. That is very much a dead Hook. And as a result, an extra counter will be added. I am now up to 2, and I've got to keep this thing on screen somehow. So I just set it on top of Fort Max, which if you're wondering why is he there, that is because he is technically my sideboard character. Even though I have 0 intentions of siding into him, He's only, or actually I don't even think I can side into him legally. He's only there because Naga tormented me with him during Encounter 5 testing, and that is what I ultimately lost to in my final match for Encounter 5 in the top 4. Anyways, we flip Bone Crusher for turn and draw a card. And then I believe we just start dumping things onto Bone Crusher. We do set a take the shot first, and at this point I realize, wait, I have a Rage in hand. I can go ahead and destroy Skydive here. So I believe I send Bone Crusher into Silverbolt here, and then on attack trigger, I activate Rage to do a damage to Skydive, because Rage, if you're not familiar, drop utility, gives Bold 1, and when the upgraded character becomes tapped, it does a damage to a tapped enemy, but it can only be put on melee characters, the upgrade that is. Pretty good card overall, and it used to be absolutely bonkers in old beta Abominus, but that has since been changed. But in the meantime, there's a Hold the Line that comes down, and the flip here for Bone Crusher, there's a white icon, going in for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 Pierce 3, I believe is the swing into Silverbolt here. So 9 blocking, I don't know how much, I believe he takes 4 here. Yep, he initially takes, or thinks he takes 5, but he only takes 4 since Bone Crusher is a 4-star, because if he was a 5-star, a 6-wide team would not work without some star cheating shenanigans. And now we get some camera lag there. There's a Noble's Blaster there to pick up, but Frank will not do that. And drawing for turn. Also, if you're wondering, let's see, I think this is going to go up Wednesday night, which is the day that the match was played. I said previously this match was supposed to happen on Tuesday, but there was a delay that had to be put into effect. I'm not going to say why, but the match just got delayed essentially 24 hours, so yeah. Anyways, now we move over to Frank's turn. And either way, you're getting this video uploaded way sooner than I expected, because I, all of a sudden, have a significantly large chunk of free time available all of a sudden, so I can get this edited and also get Saturday's video edited. I am changing the video schedule slightly over on the main channel just to make my life a million times easier. Cayman Crash comes down, doing a damage to Power Glide, and I believe the hit was on Bone Crusher here. Yes, it was on Bone Crusher. And then not sure who went in next here. Again, I just played this match a few hours ago, and I don't know who went in. Again, I don't know the minute details because I do not remember them. I just remember the outcome, which I will not say what it is. There is a Laser Cutlass that comes down onto Air Raid, but he is not going to be the one to attack here. It is going to be Fireflight going in, and I believe the attack was into Bone Crusher just because he has inbuilt Pierce, and that kills Superion because Pierce kills any blue deck. The attack is for 2. Bone Crusher blocks 1, and I believe he takes only 1 here. Yeah, that's how math works. Yep, the hit was on Bone Crusher, as a matter of fact. I also said to take the shot in case I didn't already mention that. I think I did, but I'm just covering my bases here. Anyways, as I bump Fort Max, I'll draw for turn, and then as I straighten out my deck, and I just realized that there are still green icons there, so technically I haven't drawn for turn yet. Looks like the sparring gear was picked up. I was looking away at the time, but I can actually just rewind this. This isn't live. Okay, so yep, the sparring gear was indeed picked up, and as I clean up that mess, we will go ahead and flip Scavenger and draw another card. We're looking pretty good here at this point. Skydive is off the field. Silverbolt is hurting. We're still doing pretty decent on our end of the field. Again, it's a 6-wide v 6-wide matchup. When's the last time you saw one of these? Also, it's a combiner fight, technically. And at this point, I'm just going through my scrap pile. I was checking for Cayman Crashes, and there were 2 of them in the scrap pile because I'm just thinking, okay, I need these probably to finish off something at some point, so I was just keeping track of that so I could try to figure out. I don't remember if I had one in my hand at this point or not, But, yeah, I believe I asked also there if there was a secret action on the field. Thankfully, there was not, so I pretty much had free reign to do whatever I want. I play a Power Punch onto Scavenger, and then I set another Take the Shot, and I have to go into Fire Flight here, so... The flips are now happening, and I have to reshuffle, and that is a pretty hefty swing. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Pierce 4, I believe the swing was. You'll notice a designated target in there. Yeah, that ain't doing too much in this matchup. I'm not going to say why it's in there, but yeah. And then... we have green icons on the field. Fireflight takes 5 damage in this attack, because I believe only one blue icon was flipped. Yep, only one blue icon was flipped, so 8 minus 3 is 5. I'll drop a Bastion Shield, and I pick up a Corrupt Construction, I believe that was. And then we will move over to Frank's turn here. So he's got 2 cards in hand right now. Meanwhile, Devastator's been maintaining a consistent hand size of 4 this entire game. God, the Malevolent Architect is nuts. Pocket Processor comes down on Air Raid, Alpha Bravo to try and get some additional cards in hand. And as you can see, my hands are, I'm just trying to put them wherever to keep them on screen. And I believe Air Raid is the one to go in here, but don't quote me on that quite yet. Yep, Air Raid, nope, not yet, not yet. Yep, Air Raid goes in now. And the attack is into Bone Crusher. That is a dead Bone Crusher. I will get a 3rd tower counter. And we will go ahead and reset things here, and then I will go ahead and draw for turn. That Take the Shot will also untap once everything is sorted out here. And, yep, now we are clear to go. Take the Shot untaps, draw for turn. And then I believe I flip Long Haul here, which, looking back on it, was a bit of a mistake, but whatever. We're going to play a Cayman Crash, do 1 to Scrapper, and then do 2 to, I believe, Fireflight. Yep, Fireflight is KO'd there. So I will go ahead and draw a card after flipping Long Haul. Like I said, I believe that was a misplay. Actually, that was a misplay. What am I saying? I should have flipped Mixmaster instead, because otherwise, what I'm about to do here involves sending Mixmaster in, and as a result, there was a chance that I may not get the card draw. But then I realized I was playing against a blue deck, so it may not be a concern. So I go ahead and go through with this play. If my past self can hurry it up, please. Yep, Photon Charge on the Mixmaster just because he has 2 defense. That is about the only time I play Photon Charge is when Mixmaster is the one about to attack. We drop a Improvised Shield to get a tower counter, plus we get a free tower counter in the deal, so slight misplay there, but we make it work somehow. And we're now down to, I believe... No, we're down to 3 cards in hand because we used 3 that turn. Going in for 6 Pierce 3, and I think the attack target was Silverbolt. It might have been Air Raid, though. Either way, with the Pierce, I will get to do a damage with Photon Charge. And it looks like Air Raid, or no, Silverbolt was the target based on where the dice are going. And 3 damage is enough to KO Silverbolt. And then I believe I put the 1 damage onto Air Raid, I believe, just because he's a little scarier. Just because 4 attack. Looks like I did put the Photon Charge damage on to Air Raid? I don't remember exactly. You might have to rewind it. Actually, I can go ahead and rewind it. Anyways, why am I making you do things? Yep, the damage was indeed put on Air Raid from Photon Charge. So, we're going to move back over to Frank's turn here. He has already drawn the card for turn. And now we see what he does with Alpha Bravo. Just some reshuffling of the KO area there just to keep things organized. Oh, also Fireflight flipped in the KO area. That's probably important to mention. Just checking the scrap pile here. Again, I don't want to cut anything from OI matches just because of the fact that this is a premier event, and that just feels wrong. Secret action does get set, and then we will see Alpha Bravo go in here. And the attack options are really anything but long haul. I'm going through health totals again. Still doing that. And the attack is going in here. The attack ends up going on Scrapper. He goes up to 6 damage. And we have a reshuffle on Frank's side of the field. Also, because of the fact that I'm not doing any jump cut editing, you might want to take a look at the timestamp. And if you haven't already made yourself a bowl of popcorn, you might want to go do that right now. This is a bit of a long one. And then cutting of the deck happens. And then we'll go ahead and draw for turn. Long Haul is our last character. Thankfully, Mixmaster is not dead, so we will get to flip him and draw a card instead of him being in the KO area and doing nothing. We are able to combine, however, one key thing in a Combiner v. Combiner matchup. You do not combine first, like, ever. Like, it usually is a bad idea. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, now it's a game of chicken, so let's just see if we can out-aggro Frank here, which shouldn't be too hard because he's running a blue deck in theory, but you never know. I've seen weirder things happen. Anyways, Corrupt Construction Grenade Launcher on Long Haul, as I say that. And I believe we go into Air Raid here just because he has a higher attack value, plus the Laser Cutlass is admittedly not too frightening, but it's something that I do not want Superion having, because a 6-pierce Superion is a bit of a problem, regardless of what deck you're bringing to face it. So, as a result, I believe Air Raid gets popped here. And we have some green icons getting swapped. I believe there was one picked up here. I gotta go check what that was quick. It was a hold the line that just got picked up. Again, it was a hold the line. Also, there was an end hostilities on that. Thankfully, I played only attack boosts, not any bold, so that worked out well. And Air Raid is off the field. Only one piece of Superion is left. But even if I KO Alpha Bravo before Frank gets a chance to combine, he will still get a chance to combine because Power Glide will be on the field unless I can somehow nuke Power Glide and Alpha Bravo in the same turn. Which, yeah, I don't believe I have the capability to do. I could be wrong on that with some weird combos, but yeah. So now we're just waiting to see if he does end up combining here. Because he has all 5 of the combiner piece aerial bots in bot mode. Power Glide does not need to be in bot mode, obviously. And yep, there's the Enigma. And the combination is imminent. And now, at this point, I'm thinking to myself, okay, he's attacking with Power Glide this turn. We'll just send one guy in as cannon fodder, hopefully pop Power Glide in the process, then we'll combine and start to smack Superion, and then we'll have a combiner fight in the OI, which, very glorious proposition. Combiner fights are always a glorious proposition, but this one is just especially so. And now we wait for the puzzle to assemble. And the pocket processor now gets replaced with an enhanced power cell. So we're looking at a 42 health Superion here. With 31 damage, though, this match could still go either way. Superion is still a decent attacker, but Devastator in this day and age is probably the best pure combiner attacker we have. And that is a combiner that is an attacker, I should say. Anyways, Power Glide will go ahead and go in here as I called earlier, going in for a flat 2, and I take one on long haul. That was the, oh no, going in for 4. Wait, oh, there was a Nobles Blaster there. I forgot Power Glide had the Nobles, so long haul takes 3. Frank went in because long haul had bold, and that equates to potentially more Pierce, which of course is a problem for Superion since blue decks just die to Pierce, as is the trend, for lack of a better term, because I cannot seem to think of it right now. Fight for position comes down onto long haul, and at this point I'm thinking, do I do anything else here? What do I need to kill Power Glide against the blue deck? Because, again, this was a bit of a thinking match for me, just because I have not really played against too many blue decks in the past couple of months, if I'm being perfectly honest, so I had to kind of slow it down and contemplate every move a little more carefully, and by a little I mean taking an extra 2 seconds, because I've mentioned it before, but I am very, very reckless when it comes to this game, which is why Ransack is still my favorite character. We send Long Haul in here, just going with the fight for position. We choose not to scrap to take the shot here, which is a nice, well, I don't know where I was going with that. I choose not to scrap, take the shot, just because, like, I'm thinking here, okay, so I probably could kill Power Glide here. I'll need that take the shot for when I send Devastator into Superion. And it's a pretty good swing thus far. There's the fight for position, bold 2, bold 1 innately from long haul, and then we will have a white icon momentarily. We're going in currently for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We do have a pile cut here. 6 Pierce 1 is the swing currently. And as we finish cutting the deck, I will flip 2 more cards. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7 Pierce 1 is, I believe, the swing. And the block is 4. I believe that's 3 damage, and that is a dead Power Glide. So Power Glide is off the field. It will no longer be a meat shield for Superion, and we have the green light to start swinging in. Admittedly, this is where that designated target earlier might have come in handy, But yeah, it's in a combiner v combiner matchup. Designated target is really not the best card. Secret action comes down, as also Power Glide's weapon mode goes on to obviously Superion. And going into long haul here, that is a butt ton of Pierce. I believe the Pierce needed is 4 in, no, it's 5 in order to kill long haul because he has 8 total health with the strat. And yep, that is a dead long haul, and I will go ahead and get my 7th tower counter. I have not been announcing tower counters, but yeah, there are 7 tower counters available. Or available, what am I saying? I have 7 tower counters. You don't spend tower counters. Now we move over to my turn here. Again, we have the option to combine, and we take it, because that just seems like a good idea at this point. I set the sleeves that I used to indicate modes off to the side, and now we assemble this puzzle. And again, combiner fight in the OI. Absolutely glorious. We combine with, I believe, 24 damage total, and then we heal off 7 of it, so that knocks it down to 19. And you're going to accidentally see me here in a moment move the amount of tower counters I have off to the side. I have 7 right now, so keep that in mind for later when I eventually, or when Bill eventually catches that mistake and I put it back. I have 7 tower counters here, so I have the bold 2, do not have the 10 base attack. And Devastator will go ahead and swing in. And now we get this combiner fight underway. We will go ahead and scrap the take the shot here. Swinging in for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 Pierce 3 is the swing, I believe. So that's blocking 5, I believe. So takes 5 up to, it might be blocking 6. I do not remember how much defense Superion has, and I'm actually going to check that right now. Does he have 2 defense and or 2 defense, or nope, he only has 1 defense. So yep, block 5, take 5. Oh, there was a hold the line that was flipped in order to heal 1, so that explains. So it was essentially a net total of 4 damage, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but yeah. Anyways, we have an untap here, and now we get to the fun stuff. Combiners just sucker punching each other in the face. We will see Frank drop a Cayman in order to pick up a Reflex Circuit, since that is a relevant card here, since Devastator is in fact melee, and of course Superion is ranged. So we're going to go ahead and draw for turn on Frank's side here. I believe the Reflex Circuits immediately comes down here, and then also a bigger they are for the +2 attack, since these are both 25-star combiners. Also, my hands are in a much more natural position now because of the fact that I have a combiner on the field instead of 6 little individual pieces. There is a designated target, which is a bit of a problem in this matchup because it's giving free Pierce off of Power Glide's weapon mode, because how that works, for those of you who are not familiar, is when the upgraded character attacks and the defender flips at least 2 black icons, the upgraded character actually gets Pierce equal to the weapon mode of Power Glide's attack. And I am actually confirming here that is in fact what that card says. In the meanwhile, we're going to move over to my turn as I draw a card. When the upgraded character attacks, the defender flips at least double black. This has Pierce equal to this upgrade's attack. Yep, that is what Power Glide's weapon mode indeed says. So we're moving over to my turn here. I'm thinking, okay, how do I kill this guy right now? He's sitting on 35 health total, which is 7 health remaining with the enhanced power cell. I unfortunately have not drawn any of my out to enhanced power cell, so we just drop a Bastion Shield to get rid of the Reflex Circuits, because that's a +2 defense against us. Corrupt Construction fires off the, or Corrupt Construction gives an extra tower counter. I don't know what I was saying there. And then we swing in for the +2 attack boost, going in for 10 Pierce 2. Superion blocks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Takes 4. Is on 39 health. If that enhanced power cell wasn't there, that would be lethal. So now I need to survive one more swing in order to win this game. This match is down to the wire. And at this point, I am actively sweating because I'm like, oh no, I couldn't get the kill there. This is going to be a problem. Sparring gear comes down. That makes me panic even more for the follow-up turn. And now we just have to hope and pray that a whole lot of Pierce doesn't go through, or a whole lot of attack doesn't randomly come out of nowhere. So we're going, or Frank's going in for 8 Pierce 6, I believe the hit is here. I flipped another designated target. And also, I should have flipped 2 cards here for Tough on Devastator. Oh, I actually missed the Tough on Devastator there. Ruh-roh. Either way, it wouldn't have mattered. I am taking damage here, but I would have flipped 2 extra cards. Whoops. That was a misplay that I think we both missed. Uh-oh. So we untap here. I draw for turn. And I do not believe I play the card I drew for turn. I'm trying to get a read on my hand here to see where I grabbed that card from. Frank did accidentally put his flip cards into his scrap pile, so he just takes those out quickly and then reshuffles. Because he did have a reshuffle coming up. Or actually happening, I should say. We do play a Cayman Crash. It looks like that came from the other side of my hand. I don't think that was a card I would have flipped off of the Tough 2 from Prepare for Extermination. But the Cayman Crash does come down. That puts 2 damage onto Superion. Photon Charge comes down, and then Devastator does swing in here as soon as this is done. I just need to flip 1 black icon in order to get this. I do have 9 attack, and there's the white icon that gets into the black icon, and as a result, Superion goes down, and I take game 1. So, while we're cleaning this up, I am just going to go ahead and talk about the OI giveaways again. As you know, Team Bayformers is giving away a lot of stuff in correspondence, or alongside the OI is the word I'm looking for here. And throughout each match, there has been a promo code that has been handed out that allows you to get either your first entry or an additional entry into the giveaways. This match is no exception, and if you go to bit.ly/OI giveaways, of which I have thrown that link on screen, and there's also that link in the description, you can enter the code Q42K into this form, and you'll get either, again, your first entry, I can speak, or an additional entry if you have already submitted the form. You can go ahead and go back and edit that. This code is still valid if you are not watching this the day this goes up. This code will be valid until the end of the grand finals. We will see when that is. Again, if you want either your first entry or an additional entry into the OI giveaways, be sure to enter the code Q42K at bit.ly/OI giveaways, of which there is a link in the description for that, and you will get that entry. And if you're looking for more codes, there have been additional codes in other games that have been featured on this channel, other games featured elsewhere, and there are a few other random sources that codes are hiding around in, some of which may or may not be over on the main channel, so be sure to go check that out. But get those codes in. They are giving away a lot of really cool stuff. Signed cards. Our Team Bayformers actually gave away the OI playmat that you're seeing me using. That's really nice. It's a real nice quality playmat that they gave out, and yeah, they're giving out some real cool stuff, so be sure to enter that. And we will go ahead and get into the sideboard process here. I'm just going to talk a little bit about actually, I'm not going to talk about what's in my sideboard because I don't need any competition seeing that. So, I just realized the fast forward button exists. So let's go ahead and fast forward to the start of game 2. Okay, so we are at the start of game 2. Frank is going first once again. Also, you'll notice I swapped out the color of sleeve that I am using to indicate what mode all my pieces are in. This is just something Bill asked me to do, and I obliged, so I just grabbed some filled Yu-Gi-Oh! Sleeves that I had setting off to the side from the Dinosaur deck that I recently purchased. The majority of the deck for, I still need to buy a Link Haribo for that. Anyways, Frank will go ahead and flip. It looks like Silverbolt he flipped. I'm not sure who the damage is going to end up on here. We shall find out. Also, I am actually now realizing that this game is probably going up Thursday at some point, just because I have to go commentate Champion and Celiag's match in about a half hour. Anyways, Power Glide goes in first here. I don't know who the attack target was. I believe it was Bone Crusher, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it looks to be Bone Crusher. The attack looks to have done 1 damage. I probably would help if I zoomed in on this. Yep, the attack looks like did 1 damage. Yep, 1 damage from the Silverbolt flip, 1 damage from the Power Glide hit. Yep, that adds up. Anyways, start of my turn. Draw a card, flip a card, or flip Scrapper to draw a card. I can English properly. Sometimes. We're going to go ahead and play a Magray. This was in my opening hand, and, yeah, Magray, ladies and gentlemen. Magray. So, yeah, now that that's on the field, and 12 damage has been spread across the field, which, yeah, 12 damage off of 1 card. Totally balanced. Anyways, moving over to any potential upgrade plays, or nope, this was actually turn 1. I forgot about that. That is how this works. I'm actually recording this in 2 separate segments. I was trying to get this out Wednesday, as I alluded to in the video earlier, but this is actually going up Friday night, so, yeah. Anyways, going in here with Scrapper for 4 Pierce 1 into Power Glide. Blocks enough to take the Pierce 1, and that isn't a live on 1. But honestly, I am perfectly content with that because Power Glide is a Battle Master, so I do not want him dying just yet. I'd rather wait for him to get KO'd later, so that way Frank can put it on someone, and then I can just pop the someone it went on. Also, sorry again for the camera shake there. Still working on a better solution to the camera situation. Moving over to Frank's turn now. So Power Glide is live on 1. Everybody else has taken 2 damage. Silverbolt has a 3rd point of damage on him, and so does, looks like, Air Raid and Alpha Bravo. So everybody on his team is starting to hurt, but that's what Magray will do to any Autobot team. Secret Action comes down, and it's at this point, actually I'm not going to talk about that because, no reason to quite yet. A Reflex Circuits comes down onto Fireflight, and it looks like Fireflight is going to be the send here. Again, this game now happened a couple of days ago for me, not just a few hours ago like it was earlier in this video, which is a weird thing to say out of context, but here it makes sense. Fireflight goes in, and I do not remember what exactly happened aside from the outcome. And Scrapper defends for 1 in the least surprising twist of fate ever, and I take nothing because Fireflight only has 1 attack. When's the last time you saw a Constructicon defend for something in a non-blue deck? Now we wait for some banter to clear up. Also, sorry about there not being the new background on this one. I forgot to turn that on the specific settings in OBS that has my camera viewable in the overlay. So it's not present for this one, but it will be present for my next match. I'm not going to say who it's against and in what round. I almost spoiled the outcome of this. And again, just because I said my match doesn't mean I won, because this is a double elimination event, and as a result, I could have lost this entire match and still gotten to play at least 1 more game, because that's how a loser's bracket works. Anyways, we're going to play a Corrupt Construction and a Rage onto Bone Crusher here. Have you seen this play before? And Bone Crusher has to go into Fireflight here. On attack declaration, he becomes tapped, and Power Glide is KO'd. And now I'm realizing earlier what I said about wanting to KO Power Glide at a more opportune time. Looking back on it, this wasn't necessarily the most opportune because all 5 of the Combiner Piece aerial bots are still on the field. But hey, it's a character off the field. It's a blocker that I won't have to deal with later if Frank gets into Superion. So I am honestly fine with that. And, yeah, so we're going to go ahead, and I will say this, I did side out my copies of Designated Target, so, yeah, I won't have to worry about that as much with the thermal reciprocator. And the attack with Bone Crusher is for 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 pierce 4, I believe, is the hit. And blocking 5, taking 3. Yep, blocking 5, taking 3. Up to 5, and now a Magray or a Cayman Crash will do it. And there is a Corrupt Construction there. No, there's not. There is not. I don't know why I was showing my hand, or the flipped cards like that. But, yeah. Anyways, looks like Frank picked up an Enigma, so he'll draw for turn. Flip up. Okay, so I think at this point he considers flipping up Air Raid and actually does it, but then takes it back and flips someone else up. I don't remember if it was happening at this point in time or if it was another. I was just responding to something there. Noble's Blaster comes down onto Skydive. And, yep, this is the instance where Frank flipped Air Raid, but then realized that that is not a good idea. I let him go ahead and redo that just because no new information was revealed as a result of it, so there really was nothing that had to... it was a reversible game state, long story short, and... honestly, I'm not that big of a rule shark, so... actually, I'm not even a rule shark to begin with. I used that term incorrectly there, and then I corrected myself. I am not a rule shark unless I want to be funny for some reason. Just like, I'll jokingly act like a rule shark, and then I will just, actually let it slide. Anyways, enough about talk about rule sharks. Skydive will go here into, I believe, Bone Crusher was the hit, just because the Pierce is a bit of a problem for Superion, as I think I alluded to. Almost said alluded to. I can speak. We're just waiting for the target declaration here. And then once this is being done recorded, I have got to go edit tomorrow's video. I think I mentioned this elsewhere, but I am shifting the video schedule around slightly to give myself more time to edit videos. Things are now going up Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern instead of Friday morning. It just works better with my schedule right now. Maybe we'll switch back to Fridays at some point, but for now, it's going up on Saturday. So, we're going to go ahead and move over to the defense here. I think the attack was into Bone Crusher, but don't quote me on that. Nope, it was into Scrapper, so the attack was for, I believe, 5 Pierce 2. And Scrapper is now up to 5 damage here, so he's looking hurt, but honestly, I don't care, if I'm being perfectly honest, in this situation. So I'll draw for turn, and I believe Mixmaster is the next flip here, yep, Mixmaster. I drew Take the Shot there, it looks like. I got a brief glimpse at my hand. And then, again, actually I was about to say something about my strategy with this deck, but I probably shouldn't. Photon Charge comes down onto Mixmaster. This is a play that I usually make all the time. If I have a Photon Charge in hand with Mixmaster, I will generally slap that down onto him because he's the only Constructicon, aside from Devastator combined, but the only piece that doesn't take the damage from the Photon Charge, so I like to do that when I can. And currently the attack is for 6, but after flips it goes in for 9 Pierce 1 into Fireflight. So I believe that is a dead Fireflight. Oh, nope, it is actually not 9 Pierce 1. It is 9 Pierce none because of an electrostatic shielding that was on the field. And I will mention at this point there was a bit of audience interference. Dave, the Energon Hustler, jumped in to point out that electrostatic shielding is a reciprocal effect. And I think that's actually happening right now. Yeah, so, yep, this was the point when Dave jumped in to say that electrostatic shielding is a reciprocal effect. However, it is very much not, and we catch that momentarily here. Frank does flip a couple of cards for it, but then goes to read the effect of electrostatic shielding. Yep, there it is. And reads it off, and I am actually pulling it up on Teletran here. Yep, electrostatic shielding. Each black icon your opponent flips this battle is a white instead. So those two get put on top of the deck. I yell at Dave. Well, yell in a very loose sense. And now I have to figure out a way to punish him for this because, yeah, audience interference. Not a good thing. Dave, if you're watching this, just know you're good, but I will still find a way to poke a little fun at you for this just because I can. And I'm an idiot. I don't know. Maybe I'll just force you to play some Chaos Rules Primus or something. I'll figure it out. Anyways, now that I am done, how would I describe this? Quote unquote yelling at Dave for that, and him failing to read his own card. We've resolved that. To take the shot, I think was set in the middle of that, and I just forgot to mention it. And we're moving over to Frank's turn now that that has been resolved, like I said. And Fireflight is off the board. Frank will draw for turn. Flipping Fireflight in the KO area. Looking at something in the hand. Secret Action comes down. I am openly panicking again because I have no idea what that is. His deck is playing a good amount of Secret Actions, and it could literally be anything, and I was a little too stupid to check the scrap pile every time a Secret Action came down. That is a mistake I intend not to repeat throughout the rest of my run in this event. And then we're just getting some health checks here. And it looks like Silverbolt is going to be the attacker here. And going in for 3, I believe, unless Pierce... nope, going in for 3. I don't know who the target was. It was Bone Crusher here. And Bone Crusher is alive on 1. This is a true to meme form, alive on 1. Free Gyrick win. Have I said that this video already? I honestly don't remember. Anyways, we move over to my turn. I will draw... take the shot, will untap, and the playmat's a little cramped right now. That is not due to Bill's fault or anything. It is just due to the fact that I am playing a 6-wide team, and takes up a lot of space. Because I like to play with combiners in the standard character sleeves instead of folding them up inside of a small character sleeve or a Micromaster sleeve or whatever the heck you want to call them. So Scavenger flips, draw a card, and there's another Magray. So a grand total of 24 damage, or no, 22 damage has come as a result of that card. Magray good, ladies and gentlemen. Magray good. And Bone Crusher does get KO'd in the process here, but it gives me a second tower counter, so I really don't care, if I'm being perfectly honest. And off to the graveyard that is also inhabited by that joke copy of Fort Max. Which I have also discovered Naga is playing Fort Max in this event, so there's 2 Fort Maxes running around right now, and I am openly panicking. Because, yeah, combiners have an inherent problem against Fort Max, in case you've never seen that matchup. In fact, you can actually watch that matchup, kind of, with an older version of this deck from a few months ago during Encounter 5 when I made a top 4 run in Encounter 5 before ultimately falling in said top 4 to Naga, who won the thing with Fort Max. Yeah, that's not a fun match for combiners. And then what is the upgrade here? Pretty much anything's on the table here, including a Rage, since Hook is the only... Or a Rage, I should enunciate there, since Hook is the only ranged character on the field. And there's a Grenade Launcher. That's always a good card. And I believe we send into Skydive here just to get a Pierce 2 weapon off the board. But there is a Secret Action, and it's a Sabotaged Armament. Not a card I realized that Frank had, I don't think. I don't remember if I realized it at this point. All I know is that I was a little annoyed to see it right there. But at the very least, I am going in for 5. Yep, this was into Skydive. Blocks through 5 into... I think he took 2 damage there. I'm not 100% sure. I could not see that, and I need to get this video out, so I do not feel like rewinding at this point. You probably saw it because you all are smarter than I am. Also, if you're wondering why I have a station token up there, one, that was some stuff that Bill was sending out as part of running or being in certain events as of late. I think it was either Harmony or 2 Losers. And second, I was using it as a secret action counter for this match. At this point, Frank was asking me how many Caymans I had in my scrap pile, I believe. No, he was asking me how many mag rays were in my scrap pile, and then he asked me how many Caymans are in my scrap pile. And I can tell you this, there are none just from watching that flick through, or what's the word I'm looking for here? Look through of my scrap pile. Actually, that may have been when he asked about the Cayman crashes. I do not remember. I know he did ask me about that at some point. I just don't remember if it was... nope. So the first one was about mag rays. The second one was about Caymans. As you can see, I think all 3 of my mag rays are in the scrap. Yep, all 3 mag rays are in the scrap, and there are no copies of Cayman in my scrap as well. Where are they, you ask? I shall not reveal my secrets. So Frank is still contemplating both an action and an upgrade. He does have one more flip to go before combination, albeit that is not exactly an ideal thing to do in this situation with all 6 of my, or actually 5 of my 6 pieces being left on the field. Plus, he has a butt ton of damage, or butt ton, I can speak, of damage on him from the mag rays. In fact, if Superion combined right now, it would have 7, 13, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29... 29 out of 39. How much health is on the field? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that adds up. So yeah, he would have... Superion would have 10 damage remaining on him if Frank were to combine this turn. An armed hovercraft comes down, so just direct damage getting flown out, or just getting thrown out constantly this match. And then a secret action looks to be coming down. Yep, secret action is coming down. And flipping up air raid for turn. And I actually think this secret action played a significant role in how this match played out from here on out. I'll explain why in a minute. So, air raid's going in here. Has to go into either Mixmaster, Scavenger, or Long Haul, and Frank was asking a couple of questions at this point, and I believe this was the point where I answered it incorrectly because I heard something wrong. He was asking how much was left on my tapped characters, and I thought he said my untapped character. No, wait, that was later. Okay, I'm having a hard time remembering what's going on. Anyways, going into, I believe Scavenger was the hit here, and... Yep, Scavenger was the hit. He is KO'd, and Air Raid did not trigger because of the fact that there were no weapons on Scavenger. He was going in for 6, and I believe, yeah, 6 minus 1 is 5, so yeah, Scavenger is definitely dead on that, because I think he had 3 damage from the 2 mag rays and the armed hovercraft. Yeah, that does add up. He would have taken 4 to be KO'd. Moving over to my turn, draw, flip hook, or not hook, long haul, draw another card. There's a corrupt construction, so we're now up to 4 tower counters. And then what is the upgrade of choice at this point? Power Punch. Okay, so at this point, I am thinking, you know, if it's an end hostilities, whatever. If it's a Sab Arms, whatever. We'll see what happens. It ended up being another Sab Arms. Yep, this was the secret action that ended up, kind of significantly changing the game, but not for the reasons you'd think. So Long Haul will go in here for one more card, bold one. And you'll notice that counter espionage sitting there. You just noticed Frank point to it as I'm reshuffling here. This is why it's significant, because I'll let you in on this. I was sitting on a copy of the Enigma in my hand, and if Frank hadn't played that Sab Arms, he would have been able to pick up that counter espionage and knock the Enigma out of... he would have been able to pick up that counter espionage and then knock the Enigma out of my hand. Because there's one card left in his hand, and I think, if it's what I think it is, I think I know what it was, but I will wait a moment here just to confirm. Takes a look at it, chooses not to pick up the counter espionage just because of the fact that he wants to keep the card in his hand bad. And then Air Raid is KO'd as a result of the attack from Long Haul. Frank will draw for turn. And if I remember this correctly, he plays the card he was holding on to a moment ago. Yep, there's the Enigma. So that was the other card he had in his hand. Had he not played that Sab Arms, he would have been able to pick up counter espionage with zero consequence, knock the Enigma out of my hand, and probably guaranteed lose me the game there. But instead, he set the Sab Arms, and this is going to end up being a little bit more close than expected. And on combination, he combines with, I have no idea how much damage that is. I believe it's 8, 14, 24, 30, 32 damage, if I'm not mistaken. And then Mixmaster will get shot for 3 and KO'd as a result. I will get the 5th tower counter as a result of that. And, yeah, also when Air Raid got KO'd, Power Glide's weapon mode was sent to the KO area. And I don't believe Frank's deck was playing any Quartermaster. I'd have to wait until he's knocked out to find out. Combines with 31. Okay, so... yeah, okay, so he takes the Nobles. Gets rid of the Armed Hovercraft that was sitting there, and then Superion... I think at this point there was a bit of confusion about if Superion had shot anyone, and, Yep, this was the point where that was that confusion. No big deal. It happened fairly quickly, so no fault there on Frank's part. So, anyways, Superion will now attack, has to go into either Scrapper or Long Haul. In all likelihood, I am getting a tower counter here, but we will see what happens. I have seen weirder. It is 8 Pierce 2, or 8 Pierce 5, actually, because Superion has inbuilt Pierce 3. 8 Pierce 6, actually, so no matter what, either of them are dead. Well, actually, they were just dead on Pierce 5. Long Haul will take the hit, go up to 6 tower counters. We now have Bold 2 if we're able to combine, which I've already told you I was sitting on an Enigma in hand at this point, and we are 1 turn away from combining because Hook is the only remaining character that has not flipped at this point. There are greens on Frank's side of the field, either the Sparring Gear or the Enigma, and... looks like he had electrostatic shielding in hand there. I did not catch that when I was playing the game, so interesting what you catch after the fact with this kind of stuff. Chooses not to pick anything up. I draw for turn. And I don't know if you could see my hand there good enough to see the Enigma that I had in there. Or did I have the Enigma at this point? I'm pretty sure I did. I could be wrong, though, now that I'm thinking about it. So I'm thinking about the numbers at this point. I'm just quickly doing some math about how much damage is on Devastator in the KO area, via the characters in the KO area. I can speak. Currently, it's 19, 20, 21, 22, 29 damage, healing 6 upon combination. So that number does play a pretty significant factor. Plus, I was trying to figure out, is it more smart for me to send Hook in here and then hope to God that Frank doesn't have any direct damage, or do I combine here and then just get into a slugfest and hope to God that Devastator can start tanking hits from Superion? I do flip Hook here. That's the first step here. And I do end up taking the combination. Wait, was that... Did I just draw that Enigma? Hold on. No, I did not. That was a improvised shield that I drew. So I will combine with 29, heal 6 down to 23. And while I am doing the math there, or I think Bill did the math for me, because what I like to do when combining is combine and then calculate the heal, otherwise I get confused. Anyways, time to assemble the puzzle, and again, having a combiner fight, like, in a high-level event like this is absolutely glorious. Albeit Devastator might be a little too good. That is a discussion we are having, but we will see how both my Devastator deck and Styliag's decks do once the event ends. We'll see if one of us is the last man standing at the end of the Grand Finals. We will see what happens. In the meantime, Power Punch comes down onto Devastator and sending Devastator into Superion. Of course I have to go into Superion. Power Glide's not on the field. And that is a lot of cards. So going in, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 Pierce 1, I believe that is. 13 Pierce 2, actually. 13, and I believe that was a lethal hit. 13 into, I would have had to deal at least 8 damage there. Yep, and I forgot that there were not a whole lot of blues on this flip, and as a result, I end up taking this set 2-0 over Frank and Superion, and good lord, that game 1 was really close, and then game 2, Magray happened. Magray. Hell of a card. Absolute hell of a card. But yeah, as a result of this, Frank gets knocked down to the losers bracket, and I believe he ended up facing off against Tank. I'm recording this on Friday after that match has already happened. Yeah, he ended up facing off against Tank, managed to beat Tank 2-0, and advance to the second round of 8 in the losers bracket to face off against Naga, who lost against Brett the other night. Meanwhile, I obviously won this match, and my winners round of 8 match versus Techno will be happening Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern, and I am scared because Techno is playing Fort Max. We shall see what happens, but you'll have to wait to see if Devastator can topple the Ultimate Combiner counter later. You'll have to wait until later. Yeah, that's the phrase. Anyways, that will do it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed what you saw here today. If you did, there's a little red button you can push down below to show that. Plus, of course, there's a link to the main channel in the description to check out the stuff we usually do. Again, to recap this, I managed to beat Frank's Superion deck with Devastator 2-0 in this round of 16 match for the Omega Invitational. Frank ended up getting knocked to the losers bracket where he faced off against Tank and won 2-0, and now is facing King Naga in the second round of 8 in the loser bracket, while I advanced to the winners round of 8 to face off against Techno's Fort Max deck. And we'll see you when that happens. It will be recorded and re-uploaded here, and that will do that for this video. Peace out, y'all.